How's everybody doing? Sorry, right now I'm setting this up. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing great. I just hopped on here because I was just over on TikTok listening to a lot of the panels that are on TikTok, and one of the things a lot of the panels I came across, they were talking about relationships and how no one seemed to be able to find a meaningful relationships, and they were asking, is it possible? There was one video where the lady said that men think they are right all the time, um, in a relationship, that they're always right. Hey, Lily. And then there was another one where the guy was saying, like, how come women won't cook for a man, but they will sleep with him? So I'm sitting here and I'm just going through different scenarios on TikTok, which I almost never go on, and I'm listening and I'm like, man, like these conversations, it seems like screaming match where everyone's trying to be right. Hey, Queen. Where everyone's trying to be right. No one is actually trying to find a solution, and that's my biggest issue. My whole thing is about. Some people get mad at me because I'm always trying to find an issue to a problem. I don't just sit there with a problem. I don't believe in just sitting there and let a problem fester. So I just like to find solutions. So I hopped on. I hopped on one of the panels. I almost never do this, and the prompt was, I think the guy asked, yeah, the guy asked essentially why they want to give up the box but not necessarily um, cook for a man. And the one lady said, hey, these were cooking for a man is basically husband like duties. Um, but then when they ask her, then what is sex not husband duties? She said that it's just transactional, and I was kind of shocked. Um, and because I'm sitting here like, where did this go wrong? Like, I'm old, I've been out of the game for a hot minute. I was married for 11 years, had a brief stint, and then I've been in a relationship for 6 years. So I haven't really been paying attention to what single people have been going through. But I've been keeping my ear on the last couple of days to the ground and listening. And I realized that people don't know how to build meaningful relationships anymore. They don't know how to search. They don't know how to date with intention and purpose. Everything is a means to an end. You have people get into relationships just to get something out of it, whether it's money, whether it's clout, and it's like, what the hell is going on? What's up? Is it Nara or Nare? Oh, what's up, man? But I never understand why people don't know how to date with intention. And so I'm listening to these podcasts or these TikTokers talking about, you know, men are trash and they're done for, and there's no point for fathers. Go to the other side, they're like, oh, women need to do this and that. I'm like, dude, that's not how you build a relationship. Y'all have to talk and make sure y'all on common ground. Not everybody want what you want, and that's the key to actually building any type of relationship, even a friendship. I can't be friends with somebody who I'm not compatible with, who doesn't help me build the type of man I want to become. Like I can't even be friends with people like that. But most people just see a package, like how it looks, how a person looks, how they're built, how they're shaped, and they say, wow, that's my type. And it's like, what are we talking about? We say, what are you talking about? Man, I know. Oh, so I'm talking about how people build meaningful relationships. Like how they say that relationships are done for. There's no meaningful relationships anymore. That's the belief. The common belief now is that you can't find anybody of worth in the dating scene. The dating market is cooked, as the kids say. And I'm like, it's not necessarily cooked. It's where you're swimming at. Where the dating pool that you're swimming in is wrong. Like you're in the wrong side of the house. I don't go to a club to find a woman I want to marry. No offense to people who go to clubs. Clubs are meant to have fun. So the people in the club are there for fun. They're not really there for anything meaningful. They're getting drunk, they're dancing, they're doing their stuff, and there's no fault to them. But so if I find somebody in the club and that person leaves me, we have a one night stand and leaves me, I can't get upset about it, because guess what? I found them in the place that was meant for fun, and now the fun is over. Now they're out of here. That is completely fine. If you want to find somebody at work, sometimes you have to go. You have to be people in an uncomfortable place in order for you to truly start to build that relationship. Like I'm not opposed to meet someone in the overworld. They out shopping. I don't mind going up to a woman if I was single, and and starting a conversation. But a lot of the ability to converse between man and woman, or whatever your preference is, has been lost because everything is emojis, social medias, that kind of thing. People do things via, even dating apps. I think I was on a dating app like 15 years ago, and people are more themselves online than in person, and that's weird to me because you'll think that your real self um is good enough because I'm gonna meet the real you anyway. So I prefer to see you in person so I can see what the quirks are. If you don't know how to have a conversation, I'm patient. I'm a very patient person, so I don't mind leading the conversation until you feel comfortable. Um, so it's to me it's really important for you when you go out to date is to date someone to make sure that you are dating people in the right way. That you go and the first thing you ask someone is, what do you want out of a man or woman? Like that's like to me that's question number one. What do you want from a man or woman? What are you looking for in a relationship? If that's your intention, what are you looking for in a relationship? If the person say, well, I don't really know, to go with the flow, then to me that's signs to run away. If I'm talking to you, I'm asking you what do you want, and you can't even tell me what you want, then we have a problem. If you can't tell me what you want out of a relationship, then I'm not the person for you because I know what I want, and I don't believe in wasting my time. Time is something that none of us can get back. So if you go out and you're dating with purpose, you can end a relationship, end a date 30 minutes in because you already know what you want. You sit down, you start talking back and forth, and you're like, you know what, this ain't for me. And you can be polite about it. You don't have to be rude. You can be like, thank you so much. I'm glad you invited me out. Or if you're the guy, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to come out with me. But I realize that this is not what I'm looking for. But I do wish you the best luck. And you kind of dip out and go and keep it moving. Especially if you're 30 plus. You can't. One of the most tragic things to me is watching 30-year-olds and 35-year-olds act as if they're 21 and 25 years old. They act like they're still playing the game. They're still bragging about how many men or women they get, and it's like that shit is sad, bro. Because eventually you're gonna hit 40 years old and 50 years old, and no one, no one feels sorry for a 50-year-old person who can't get their shit together. I've seen, working in healthcare, I've seen people come in, and I talk to many people, and just like me, just being out in San Diego walking around, I see people making the same mistakes over and over again. And when they come to me and say, "Hey, I can't find anything, and there's no good men or women left," I'll tell them, what are you searching for? You say you won't change, but you keep going to the same exact thing. In order for you to won't change, your mind and your actions have to agree. You can't say you won't change. You want to be a better person, but then I find you in the same place of sin that you always, find yourself in. Like change is hard. Habits are hard to break. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna suck, but it is worth it in the long run if you truly won't change. If you don't want to change, stay the same. If you don't want to actually better your life, stay the same. I'm from the South, born and raised in Georgia. So Nara, you asked me where I'm from. I'm from Georgia. I'm also part Dominican, so we speak fast generally. It was like, hey, you must be patient if you want to wait for the you said for the what? For the toy? For the Lord? Well, yeah, exactly. 100% the joy. So yeah, you're right. You have to be patient. That's the whole thing. You have to be patient. I tell everyone you have to be patient, and you can cut people loose if they're not serving you. And people think that's a bad thing when I tell folks to cut people loose, but you're not. You're saving yourself and you saving that other person for, you know, wasting each other's time. How many of us have seen relationships that went on far too long? You guys, that for a fact they're not compatible. You ask yourself, why are they together? And they stay just because it's convenient. And to me, having someone in your life for convenience to me you're wasting each other's time. Like you're not bettering him or she's not bettering you. You guys are just there. You're just there, wasting each other's time, being bored, being miserable, and all the while, every life is just passing you by, and you becoming envious of everybody else. You're asking yourself, how come she seems happy? And you get on social media and you see people going on trips. They having like couple goals, and you're looking at your significant other with disdain and hate, like, oh, I can't stand him. Oh, I can't stand her. And it's like all you have to do is Q, I'm unsubscribed. You always talking about me. I'm not talking about you, Lily. I'm not talking about you, baby girl. I'm talking about the stuff I've seen and hear. I keep hearing it. I keep seeing it all the time. It's crazy. It is crazy. I don't know. What is this right here? I don't know that Q&A for him. I don't know that Q&A. I'm just leave it there. But anyways, don't be hiding, Lily. I want you to come to the light. That's why I did this live. I did this live because I want to get your guys' opinion. Do y'all believe that if you don't find the person that you would like or a person that completes you in a certain amount of time, you should settle for anybody? Is that a belief out there? I wish I could make this. What do you think, Queen? I think you're on here. And Lily, do you guys think that if you do not find the person that you want, you should settle for anyone to avoid being alone? I will tell you my answer. I'm gonna give you guys a chance. Ooh, Lily, that's spicy right there. Oh, see, yeah. You should never settle, but it's hard because people are scared to start over. Oh my God. See, that's what I'm saying. You guys are saying the exact same thing I've heard, and I myself once questioned. I think as humans, as we get older, we have this fear of being alone because we know for a fact, statistically speaking, people do have worse outcomes health wise when they're alone. Now Ross said, "You're really good, man. Just keep going. Not ever sit back like this." No, Ross, I'm good. I'm speaking on what I seen on TikTok. I'm married. I have my kids. My woman's sleeping in the other room, so I'm good. I do appreciate it, bro. But yeah, I'm not having these problems. I was just telling the ladies before you came on that I was on TikTok and I was going through these panels and I was seeing people communicate back and forth saying how the relationship game is all messed up. I was like, man, like it's so jacked up. But no, I'm good. No, you're good. You're good now, Rock. Like you're good. Like it's I should have prefaced that when you came in. But yeah, I'm good. I luckily thank God that I've never had any type of situation like this. Like my vice was never women. I never had an issue with that. My issue was being was actually my emotions. I had a hard time sharing my emotions, and that made my relationships difficult. That was my issue because being born in the South, being born a man, I just thought I had to be stoic and strong all the time, and that led to a lot of issues in my relationship where I could never be vulnerable with them, and I think that was out of fear. So yeah. Oh my God, be quiet now, Rob. But back to what Queen and Lily said. I think people really are afraid of being alone, or they're afraid to start over. Remember, Lily and Queen for sure. You guys know that I used to be married to Liz, and I never want to be divorced because I didn't want to be my parents. I didn't want to repeat that cycle of breakup and starting over. I saw how it damaged my parents. They never recovered. My mom and dad to this day do not have a long-term partner. They're still married to this day. They've been married since 1991, and they've been together since 1988. And so they still haven't found anyone after they broke up in like the mid 2000s. But so I didn't want to repeat that, and because I still believe in my vows, I do believe in for better or for worse, through sickness and health, to death do apart. But it has to be on both sides. Both parties have to agree. Both parties have to believe that. If I believe for better or for worse, and to stay with you and stay by your side, and you're like, well, I don't give a damn if you're here or not, then why waste my time? To me, I'd rather just dip out. But if both parties agree, then I believe that we can make it work. And that's the key. You make it work. It's cooperation, right? The word cooperation, coordination, all that mean means both, means two, and two things have to agree. And that's why I always believe in talking to my partner and communicating. Once I realized that I can share my emotions, and that doesn't make me weak as a man, it made me a better man. It gave me emotional control. Yeah, I still have my anger moments because that's inside my blood. Not necessarily with her, but just in general. I have a temper here and there. But it made me a better man. I'm more aware of it now. Like my new episode that's dropping right now, I have a new episode about to drop, and a day is about empathy and accountability and how to use those superpowers as tools to better your relationships. So stand by for that. I hope you guys like it. Also, thank you guys, the viewers, for reaching 1,300 subs. I really appreciate it. Um, I want to start doing like some subscriber appreciation events where I give out, like these little lights, give out like if you're a subscriber, like give out these little lights, ring lights, recording equipment, gift cards to Amazon, to Walmart. So stand by for that. Hope you guys will like that. More to come. So just trying to slowly but surely grow my channel, grow my influence, and all that good stuff. So I do appreciate you guys for always supporting me. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Lily. Oh, hey, Lily, I got you, girl. I'm telling you, you already in the running for one of my little cars. You went Queen. Y'all always pop up in here. But yeah, I'll let you guys know whenever I start giving out those rewards. And it's definitely for people who always by my side. Hey, what's up, T Brown, man? I was just so welcome to the live. I was just explaining what I've seen on the TikTok side of the house. I was just on TikTok, and I was listening to people talk about how they believe that meaningful relationships are a thing of the past because everything is transactional. To me, I even though I do see the transaction, a lot of in these current modern relationships, I do know that meaningful relationships still, to this day, they still matter. They still exist. It's all about we have to create them though. That's what people don't understand. I think the biggest issue we have in the current dating scene, or just in the relationship scene at all, and by relationship I mean platonic and romantic, is that we don't want to put in the work to build anything anymore. Back in the day, we knew we had to build that. Think about, especially as Black people, right? Imagine the civil rights movement when no Black person talked to each other, when nobody wanted to build anything. We would never got the rights that we currently have. They had to build that trust, build that relationship up. But we don't want to do that no more. We want things to be done for us. We're like children, right? No one wants to build the brick and the mortar and the foundation for what a relationship could be. They want it already pushed in front of them. Hence why, oh, hey, Mama 3. Here's why, like even fast food is on the rise, right? People love fast food. Why? Because it's fucking fast. But relationships can't be built fast. You know why? Because there's more to relationships than just surface level. So if you think you don't walk into a relationship with a meet a woman on date 1, become official date 5, and then y'all married, you're married, year 1. Come on, man. That's not even realistic. You don't even know anything about her. What's her last name? What's her favorite color? You don't even know. So I tell people all the time, take the time to actually build it up. Exactly. A pick up and go relationship, like a shake and go wig. They want to get up, shake that damn relationship out, put it on, and they good to go. And it's like, no, that's not how that is. You have to make sure you guys are of one accord, that y'all want the same thing. Because what if I don't believe in marriage? I believe in relationship, but not marriage. But you believe in marriage. Now we're getting together. We're tying our life around each other. We're constantly around. We're wasting money, time, effort, and energy on it. And then, you ask me, 5 years in, hey, how come you never proposed? And I tell you, well, I'm not really into the whole marriage thing, Now you mad. Now you mad, like, oh my God, you wasted my time. I can't believe that. Like, I didn't waste your time. You didn't ask. You didn't ask. You get 0% of things you don't ask for. That's my belief. That's my philosophy. And no one's going to tell me anything different. So for me, I definitely prefer that people should, every relationship I go into, best believe, ask Liz. Liz would tell you, I have 15 things that I require. I ain't finna give them out because they're my 15 things. And you have to at least meet half of those for us to even date. And 2/3 of those for us to take it further than that. So I am a very logical person, and I learned how to be emotional as I got older. But I was a very logical person. If it don't make sense, it don't make change, and I don't got time for it. So that's just how I see it. But what T Brown said, he said what? Oh, he said pick up and go relationship. Queen said they only rush just to say they have someone in their lives and barely even know that person they're dating. Exactly, Queen. That's what I'm saying. It's just like when people used to have kids for no reason. They used to get kids and babies, they'll show them off on their Facebook, they'll show them off on their Instagram, and then the child got, you go to the house, a child in a pee-filled diaper, snotty nose, but they had the baby there and they're just super happy because the baby brought them the attention, that dopamine hit, and now that that hit is over, now they need to find a new grift, and that's what it is. A lot of these relationships, these so-called relationship goals, I tell people, I only show what I want y'all to see, right? Most of the relationships online are what they want you to see. They don't want to see you. They don't want to see the nitty gritty. One thing about my channel and what I was going to do with my son, but he's been busy, so that's why we haven't filmed the Generation Me podcast. But I want to give people a glimpse behind the scene when we're not at our best. I want to show people that all relationships are not always happy. Though we all know that, that's not how people act. And the reason why you know that, because when they get into arguments, they be like, well, Danielle's husband would have done it. And it's like, you don't know what Danielle had to do in order for her to get that from her husband, because we're not in their relationships. And I'm not Danielle's husband. If you want a man like that, you should have got with someone like that. And that's why I tell people, if you ask those questions in the beginning, what is important to you? Are you superficial? Are you in debt? Does look matter? Don't they matter? Does money matter? Does it matter? Does religion matter? Does religion not matter? You have to ask these important questions, because ain't no point of wasting nobody's time if you simply gonna cut and run when things get too hard. So let me see. Mama 3 said, and if they say they don't want a relationship or something serious, believe it. Well, hey, what did Maya Angelou say? If someone tells you who they are, believe them. So if a person tell you, I'm not looking for anything serious, why the hell you seriously still date them? You see, it doesn't make any sense. Like people are the victim or the author of their own demise. They write their own book of sadness. It doesn't make any sense. If people are telling you straight up, I'm not the one for you, and you believe it, it's on you. Hey, dear Eliza. But and that's the part that gets me. People really, really, really have. I don't get it. To me, getting burnt once, maybe twice, I understand. But if you get burnt 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10 times, you're just a fool. I don't know any better way to tell you you're just a fool, because you're doing the same exact thing, expecting different results. I just don't get it. You'll think if I try to walk, if I get up right now and walk straight to my left, eventually I'm gonna hit my door. If I bump into my door and back up, and I bump into my door and I back up, and I keep trying that, I'm not gonna get through the damn door. It's not gonna work. You have to change it up a little bit. Hey, D Eliza. And then Queen said, exactly. They only show the good parts of their on the internet, exactly, and pretend it's something that is not behind closed door. Things are, man. Do you remember that family? I forgot who they were. On YouTube, it was this light skinned guy and this Hispanic woman. I forgot that it was like the something family, and everyone thought they had this wonderful, amazing life, and then turns out behind closed doors they were having affairs and all that good stuff. Because people are so quick to believe the internet, not realizing that it's simply just entertainment like anything else. Sure, you'll get people go online, they'll start crying. Let me tell you about, but even that has been weaponized nowadays. You have people out here making fake ass stories about things that didn't even happen, just to get a little bit of clock and just to go viral. To me, it's so sad that we are so consumed with being internet relevant that we neglect our real lives, and that's why people are not accomplishing anything in their actual lives that's not online, because they're trying to do anything and everything just to get ahead to people who don't even know them, who probably wouldn't even care if they was a croak and drop dead right now. They wouldn't care. It doesn't like, I do this because I generally want to help folks. I said that on some of my shorts. I've been saying it before I even got online. I do this in my real life. Outside of this camera, I work in the healthcare field. I actually help folks. I mentor people. I counsel people. So I do what I do offline, I do online. Those things are congruent. I don't have to do this, but I do it because I want someone who maybe can't be in San Diego or can't be in my inner circle and get this information. I want them to get for free. Like someone I was on T Brown Pod on his live like 2 or 3 days ago, and he was saying like, please don't take my word as law. Please don't. I'm not a licensed professional, whatever the case may be. And I told him, you don't have to be a licensed professional to give good advice. Before the field of psychology even existed, people were giving good advice. The Bible itself is it's a lot of good advice in the Bible. It's a lot of good advice on movies. People just don't want to take it. Again, they want everything to be ready-made. I never seen so many grown children in my life. Like as an adult, you should understand that you have to grind to get what you want. It's not going to be given to you. No one is here to make your life easy. That's not their responsibility. Now, once you find a partner, it is both of your responsibility to make each other lives as easy as possible. But instead, you want everybody else to bend the knee for you as if you're some type of king or queen of the world, but you're not. You're a regular behind person like the rest of us. The world does not owe you anything, and you will only get what you can actually earn, or in some people's case, scam. But you only can get what you earn, period. It will take some work to build the relationship you want. It will take some work to make sure your kids are as prepared for the world as they need to be. It's going to take some work for you to get the house, the car, the body that you want. It's going to take work. From the minute you left your parents' house and became a full-fledged adult, you signed a contract to work until your ass can't work no more. People need to spend time working on themselves. That's why this whole episode that I made is about self-reflection and accountability. That's my little script. Self-reflection and accountability. I just finished filming it. Self-reflecting is super important because it keeps you aligned with you. Sometimes we neglect ourselves and we go out into the world where we're so busy, we're doing this, that, and the other. We forget to check in with ourselves, and we don't realize that we have changed in some type of way. Right? I see things in 5-year increments. Every 5 years, I want to be better than the previous 5 years. That's how I see it. And I think people should, I self-reflect to say, Quentin, things that I would tolerate now, I would never tolerate then. Why? Because I was more volatile, had more testosterone. I was ready to, nuck if you buck. But now I realize that I have way more stuff to lose. And on top of that, what I know so much about myself, there's nothing you can tell me that I don't already know. That's what self-reflection does. It allows you to be aware of your strength and your weaknesses. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to ask, does this make sense? Because you would know a little bit. You can just get a second opinion. It's kind of like when you go to a doctor and they tell you that you have, I don't know, leukemia. You can go to another doctor who will tell you the same thing. It just reinforces what the first one said. So you are your first doctor. Self-reflect, understand what makes you tick. And then if you need a second opinion, you can ask your friends or family, hey, do I do this? Because every relationship you're in teaches you something about you, not them. It teaches you about you. It teaches what you can handle, how you love, how you communicate. And then if you actually get out of your selfish brain about you being a victim and step back and say, how did I perform in this movie of life? How did I perform? Was I listening? Did he or she have a point? Was I open to, communicate about my downfallings? People don't understand that you're not perfect and you're not beyond reproach. People can actually ask you questions. People can literally say, hey, I don't like the way you said this to me. It's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not bashing you. They're letting you know that, hey, that bothered me. And I want you to know that so you won't do it again. And what happens? You don't do it again. There's no argument. We get to longevity. Our relationship lasts. It improves. We get better, and things go on. See, we can avoid a lot of conflict if we simply just talk to the person and be open to the criticism they may have for us. Most of your conflict will be mitigated based off that alone. And see, Queen said they need to stop looking for handouts from people. Yeah, stop looking for handouts. It's sad. Lily said, yes, I love when a friend is always honest with me, no matter how harsh. Exactly. See, and I'm glad you said that, Lily, because that's what happens. People take criticisms as a slight to them. We know the difference between an actual criticism and then a diss. Those things are different, and I'm gonna tell you how. A criticism, a constructive criticism, is meant to improve you. A diss is meant to tear you down. If I say something like "you fat as hell," there is nothing constructive about that. You stated a point, true or not true, with the intent to hurt me in some way. But if you say, hey, I've been noticing that you've been gaining weight lately. Like, what's going on? Is that stress? Like, what's being like? What's the deal? Talk to me. I'm here for you. That is absorbed a lot better than just going straight balls to the wall. Let me just say what the hell I want to say. Because now you said you fat as hell. Now I'm looking at you like, well, you ugly as hell. I can lose weight, but you can't lose ugly. Then now we get into a big argument. So it's something that people really need to work on. It's communication 101. If you can do TikTok dances, you can learn how to communicate effectively. And if you don't know how to do so, I have a video on communication. Check out my channel, Quick Talks. I think it's season 3, episode 1, actually. So take a look at it. Because sometimes it's not what you say, is how you say it. Most of what you say is your body language. If I'm like this the whole time, hey everyone, today you'll be like, this person, he's not connected emotionally to anything he's saying. But as you can see, I'm leaning into the camera, I'm talking, I'm using hand gestures. That means I'm excited and I'm engaged with what I'm saying. You see, that is ascertained from my body language. Body language matters, which is why when you talk to someone, you should orient yourself towards it. Imagine if I did this live like this the entire time. You'll think that I'm talking to somebody off camera. It's simple stuff that can improve your life, whether in your personal or professional life. One of my greatest gifts is not my intellect. And it's not that I'm a smart guy. It's not the degrees that I have. It's my ability to connect with people, for people to understand who I am, what I'm about, and I can convince them to buy in to the main mission to get things done. That's why I keep getting high-powered jobs, because they know that I connect to the people. And they feel a connection to me, and it's all based on how I'm able to communicate. It's really, really easy. But then Queen said people can't handle the truth because they've been in exactly 100%. And then Lily said, "Man, I will scroll up for that." So yeah, it's just crazy. It really does. I really want to help this world because I have 3 sons in 3 different generations that have to go through this stuff. And also I love my women, period. Like I'm a strong supporter of women, especially when they do right, because women, y'all make the world go round. This ain't no pandering. I don't pander. I don't have to. But women, you guys have such a profound effect on the lives of everyone you touch, including the men. And I tell people, where women go, the world usually goes. Women now don't have any faith in men, and then you look on the side with men, they're more depressed than ever. They're more lonely than ever. Why? Because they don't have that woman in their life to complete them. There's a reason why God made Eve. He needed to give Adam a companion, because men alone, we can't do anything. We can build all the houses in the world, but if there's no one to live in them, what's the point? We can have all the money in the world, but if we can't share it with someone, what's the freaking point? we can have our kids, like let's say the kids that we already have, and women just disappeared. We may be able to have those kids, but we only can show them one side of the equation. How men metabolize the world is different than how women do. And so that balance is what keeps everything balanced. So women are very important. I feel like women really need to understand the power they have and to use it to not just their benefit, but for the benefits of society. Like all women are beautiful. That's why I told Lily, stop saying like, I'm not pretty. Lily, you are pretty. Everyone's pretty. Everyone. I'm not saying you can be out here selling magazines. That's irrelevant. But the beauty you have, your true beauty is your ability to connect and love damn near unconditionally. Y'all, the ones who have kids, y'all love y'all kids. Y'all do anything for them babies. That's the type of beauty. That's the best type of beauty. I've had the privilege to travel to different parts of this great amazing world we live on. I don't see what people call baddies all up and down. And I'm not ashamed to say I have partaken in a lot of different, situations. But the most beautiful women I've ever met are the ones who are comfortable in their own skin. The ones who aren't afraid to love, who aren't afraid to make mistakes and own them. But on top of that, the ones who give you the space to become the person you're meant to be. Those are the women, to me, are the most beautiful women in the world. Whether it's, I'll be married basically twice. And those women that I was married to embodied those exact traits. They made me feel that I was a fucking hero, that I was a king. And I wanted to give them everything that I didn't have or everything they wanted. My fiance doesn't have to work. She works because she wants to. Because I want to provide her a space and comfort to be the woman she needs to be. The woman that she needed, that God made her for me to be. And that's how I do things. And that's why I tell these young men, like, hey, don't just run after every, woman that you see, because not all of them are good. Just like not all men are good. And if you just be patient and you take your time and you look at her intangibles, that will tell you what you're messing with, who you playing around with, real quick. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that at all. We want a quick, fast, in a hurry. We want microwave ass relationships. Just boop, 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 ding, and wonder why it don't taste as good as a home cooked meal. I don't care what you say. Hungry Jack will never taste better than homemade mashed potatoes, homemade steak and gravy, and some veggies. Never. It's never gonna hit the same way. And that's just how I see it. Queen said exactly, and that's what a man needs from his woman. Exactly, Queen. That's what I'm saying. People always say, what I hate on the female side of the house is when they say, I ain't his mama. They know that. They don't want you to be. But what they want from you actually is to take care of the home that he got for you, and for you to take care of him so he can take care of you. That's how that works. That's how it works. That's what a partnership is. You ain't his mama, but when you'll go to work and do it, that job will tell you, I need you to clean this office. Oh, yes, I do it, Mr. Stanley, with smiles on your face. How can I give you a paycheck? But the person that's supposed to die for you, ride for you, provide for you, can't get the same thing. And on the other side of the fucking house, you'll have men who walk into the relationship and expect the woman to give her all and to submit and bow to him. Why the hell would she do that? She don't know you. What have you done? Why should I bow to you if you have not provided me anything to bow to? You want to be the king, but there's no kingdom for me for us to rule over. You want like, no, baby, build up to that shit. Work up to it. I hate using that word like submission or submittal, but a woman, when she love you enough, you don't have to ask her to do anything. She'll just do it. That's one thing about women. That's one thing I try to tell all men. You don't have to ask a woman who actually give a damn about you to do anything. She will just do it. Women have a keen intuition. They know when you're hungry. They know when you're tired. They'll say, babe, go lay down. Let me rub your temples. I'll make a meal for you without ever having to ask for it. But a woman or a man who don't give a damn about you, you have to turn that key. You have to turn that little wine in their back every single time. Every time you have to turn the switch just to make them do anything. The truth can hurt sometimes, but hey, like I told Lily, they call me El Espejo. That means mirror in Spanish. I just hold a mirror up. Whether you want to look at it, it's on you. But whether you look at it or not, that reflection is still the same. It is still the same. But anyway, Queen said, right? That's ignorant to say. I hate hearing that foolishness from women. And then Queen said, but those be the miserable, lonely ones that can't ever find love because they wait. Exactly. And that's what kills me. There's a lot. Women have, especially in the Black community, have surpassed men in terms of earnings, right? In terms of making money and being successful. They have more degrees, all that good shit. But they also more lonely than ever before in history. Why is that? Because money does not equal happiness alone. You need something else there. It's like an equation. 1 plus what equals 2. You just can't say one equals 2 without putting anything else in there. It takes more stuff. And people say, I don't need nobody. Really? You don't need nobody? Are you sure you don't need anybody? Because you have that house, when it has a plumbing leak, you have to call a plumber. That's a body. You work for someone. That someone is a body. Everyone needs somebody. And going home to an empty house, no one wants that. What did Luther Vandross say? We said, a chair is still a chair, even when there's no one sitting there. I mean, he had a whole song about that. A house is not a home. So one thing is, a chair is still a chair no matter what, but a house is not a home if you don't have nobody to share it with. It's just a house. Men and women are trending apart. And we need to find some way to bring us back together, because without that, we're going to have some miserable ass fucking futures. Period. Men and women are giving up hope because they want things already designed. We have such a convenient life now in this country where AI can do damn near anything academically. We have cars already assembled nowadays. They most of the factory workers don't even have a job because the machines can build it better. We have a life of convenience that we forget that the most important things you can't really build. You can't really have pre-assembled. I'm sorry. You have to actually build them. That husband or wife that you want, you don't have to tinker with them throughout, because they don't come already preconditioned to know who you are and what you want and what you expect. They come to you as regular people. You come to them as a regular person. Y'all decide together if y'all gonna take the long journey together and what concessions need to be made. And once you guys learn each other, you learn how to communicate to each other. Then you can start. Then you'll start seeing true love manifest itself. There's a lot of manufactured love or things that mimic love. Lust can mimic love. You have carnal or sexual love that can mimic love. You have companionship that can mimic love, but love is a combination of all those things combined. Where you love a person because you love them like a friend, you love them like like the person becomes your twin flame, essentially. Your media naranja, right? The middle of your orange. Like, so that's how you know. That's how you know you actually building something worth keeping. When you guys essentially meld into each other as if y'all are one person. Right? That's a reason why that ring, hey man, there's a reason why that ring is circular, because the circle is unbreakable, right? It's infinity. The person that you take as your husband or wife is supposed to be with you through the long haul until both of you guys are gone, right? That's kind of how it works. And if I'm gonna walk lockstep with someone into the future, best believe I'm gonna make sure that person knows who I am and what I like, and I will also be open to what that person is and what they may like, so that we can make this shit as comfortable as possible. Because once you get to a certain point, it's autopilot. It's autopilot. You don't have to do that much, right? Once you do the work, you don't have to say too much anymore. You get to a point where when you know what they want before they even say anything, and that and that's what people don't understand, and that's the sweet spot. That's the real shit. Instead of trying to want things quick and easy, you build that shit and it becomes real easy. It becomes real. It becomes fun. Most people get stuck in the honeymoon phase of a relationship. You know what I'm talking about? Like the fun part, that the first 6 months, maybe a year if you can extend it, but the first 6 months where it's holding hands and we're giddy and the sex is mind blowing. You can't keep your hands off each other. They get stuck on that, and then that fade away, and then they think that something has changed, and that y'all they lost a spark. You didn't lose a spark, baby. It transformed. The thing about a fire is the fire will only burn as long as it has something to burn, something to keep it alive. And that's something that's keeping your relationship alive is your effort and your energy. That's what keeps that flame going. If you don't put in the work, expect to be put out. Expect that you're gonna trend apart. And that's why I tell people all the time, you got to self-reflect. Self-reflection, empathy, accountability will save you from so much heartache and pain. Because remember, accountability is not the same as blame. Accountability doesn't mean taking the blame. It means evaluating the situation and seeing if your actions played a part in it. That's what it is. If you know for a fact your lack of doing something, like for instance, if I'm not aware that my woman wants to spend time with me, and I constantly plan things by myself, and I'm constantly going out with my friends or going out doing this, that, and the other, I'm never taking her feelings into consideration. I have to be accountable if she says that she feels lonely. I played a part in that, and that's okay. You know, it's people feel like they don't want to take any negative shit onto themselves because they feel like oh, if I take the negative stuff on myself, that means I'm a bad person. No, what makes you a bad person is being ignorant of others, in my opinion. Queen said they can handle it when it's easy in that honeymoon phase, but not ready for the tough battles that comes with exactly. They don't want to handle the hard part. I see it like this: relationships kind of mirror the growth of a human to an adult. The honeymoon phase is basically birth to like, what I'll say, maybe like 4 or 5, where everything is given to you, everything is fun. You're a new baby in the house, and everyone loves you, and people are taking care of you, and that's how that honeymoon phase is, the easy part. And then it starts to get a little more real. You go from toddler to whatever preteen, and then you hit that teenage stage where you still have the visage in a way of a kid, but the hormones themselves, they are of an adult, and you're awkward and all that good stuff. And now that's the hard part. That's to me, I feel like that's relationship. I'll say 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years is usually the hardest part for a relationship. People, if you can get past that 5th year, typically you're pretty good because you guys been on learn everything that is necessary for you. But man, to get into that year mark and those 5 years in between that, it's tough, and a lot of people don't want to make the sacrifice. They don't want to make the sacrifice at all. And I tell people all the time, keep pushing. That little engine that's one of my favorite stories ever. You know, you have to keep on trucking, keep on going forward, and you'll realize that on the other side of that hard work is relaxation, it's coasting, it's true partnership, it's true love. That's why that term exists, true love, because there's a lot of things that mirror love. But when you get to true love, you know it. When somebody truly loves you, you will know it. You don't have to guess. You'll know it. And you know, and once you have it, it's addicting to not have it. You know, and let's say that you have true love, and things truly do fizzle out because it's possible. Let's say it truly fizzles out. Then guess what? Now you know what you require. Now you know more about yourself than anyone can ever tell you. So now, if you leave a long-term relationship and enter the dating scene, now you don't have time for the foolishness. You can literally take your time finding that thing that you love. But Queen said, "Oh, she already said that." Okay. But yeah, so the fact of the matter is that that's how you navigate. That's truly how you navigate relationship in life. That's how you build meaningful relationships. Like you don't. It's never going to be pre-made. It's never going to be easy. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. My question to you is, are you willing to put in that effort? And if you say no, then enjoy your popcorn relationships. I hope it work out for you. Um, but if you say yes, I want to put in effort, I want to, make it work, then I promise you it will work. Think about how most people get the job of their dreams. They'll do anything for that dream job. Go to any school, spend countless hours studying, all that good shit. They'll apply 1,000 times. I believe that your professional life and your business life your professional life and your personal life need to be in lockstep. If you put all that energy and effort into a job, but won't do the same thing for your personal life, especially your romantic life, then you are a fool. Queen said nowadays people can't even make it to 1 or 3 years. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They can't make it to like year one. Every time you see them, they're with a different person, and you ask them, and what happened when you ask them? What happened? They'll say one, but guys, it just didn't work out, or that she was crazy. Females, he controlling, child, he wouldn't buy nothing, and I'm like, how'd y'all even know that in a year? Or he's 20 years old. What did you think that he was about? He need time to blossom. Everyone should know by now that it takes a man a little bit longer to mature than a woman on average. Every now and then you'll have people like myself, and I'm not saying be my own chance because of the nature of my circumstances. I had to step up as a man of the house at 10 years old, so I couldn't be a kid. But men take a long time to mature, which means if you are a 20-year-old woman and you're dating a 20-year-old man, just be mindful that he will not have the communication, he will not have the emotional bandwidth that you may expect or desire. It's gonna take some time, and that is okay. What's this? Queen said, "Yep, that's always the answer," which is ridiculous. They're full of it. But yeah, so it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a little bit of effort if that man is truly what you want. And how you can figure out that if that man is worth your time is by knowing who you are and what you want, at least a general idea. I don't expect a 20-year-old to know everything that she wants, but you have to have a general idea of what you would like your future to look like. That's one thing I love about being an 80s baby, and people who are older probably know this too. That in school you had to project yourself out. They had these things called short-term and long-term goals. They'll ask you, what would your life be like a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You have to write it down. Bring that shit back. Have these kids use their imagination. Even Albert Einstein said that is the key to true genius, your imagination. Have them project it out and make sure it has to be realistic shit. You can't be out here saying like, "Oh, I want to be the next Cardi B," and I don't know, like what? No, that's not realistic. No, what you like your how would you like your man to be? And stay away from the physical stuff. That can be a part of it, but you can't be like, I want him to just be, 6 foot tall, fine as hell, chiseled abs, and then don't put anything else in there. You get and understand that if you want your man to make money in the real world, like make 100,000 or more, that's going to eat up time. No one pays a person 100K to do nothing. So you need to understand that you may have to be by yourself sometimes if you want a man who make a lot of money, or be willing to work so that y'all can both spend y'all off days together. Again, it's all about sacrifice, and make sure you are building a relationship that you guys want together. Like Evelyn, she wants to work. So I'm not going to tell her not to. She wants to work. That's what she wants. And she works a shift that allows her to be with her baby throughout the day. So we don't have to worry about having a babysitter or a nanny. We had a nanny, but she wanted to raise the baby herself because it's her first child. So she made it work, and I was okay with it. You see, that's how it works. Cooperation, coordination, collaboration. Collaboration is all that requires two people working together. Even the Bible says, if 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I shall be in the midst. So if 2 people are gathered in the name of love, love will be in the midst. But if one of y'all are gathered in the name of love, and the other you is gathered in the name of convenience, you guys are 2 circles not intersecting. So there's no commonality. You see what I'm saying? So it takes time, it takes energy, and I promise you, it'll be okay. It's gonna be. Oh, thank you, Queen. It's gonna be okay. And don't be afraid to be alone for a little bit to find the right fit. If you walk into a shoe store and you wear a size 12 and you really wanted these shoes, a certain type of shoe, and they only had a size 10, will you take that and then stuff your big ass foot in that shoe and wonder why that shit hurts? It wouldn't make any sense. And that's what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to take y'all big grandiose idea of a relationship and trying to stuff it inside of a relationship that don't fit. That's it, But that's all I had to say on this live. Thank you guys for joining and popping in and supporting me. I love you guys. Queen, Maine, Mom of 3. Who else is in there? T Brown. Like, I appreciate you guys. Lily. Appreciate you guys always coming in and dropping by and spending time with your boy as I rant. I may do another one later on today. You never know. But y'all have a good day, all right? God bless y'all.